I was asked to give a detailed description of travel case management as well as the orientation process. So I'm going to tell you the 100% truth. So this is everything you need for orientation. Oh wait, you can't see it clearly? It's okay, we'll go over it really quickly. As a travel case navigator or case manager, you have to make sure that you know what you're doing. You have to have this specialty down within a year or two. Most hospitals prefer you to have that 1 or 2 year mark. If you have something that's close to the 1 or 2 year mark, like a coordinator of any type of organ like my background was, or something that has to do with discharge planning, your orientation time is going to be minimal. I currently work with a travel case manager, and she said her orientation was about 3 weeks. That is rare, okay?
You rare.
You don't get that. Most of the time you get 1 week, or you may get 2 to 3 days, okay? And they may factor that into being 1 week because you have to do maybe an EPIC class or Cerner or whatever charting system that your hospital uses. That's for 1 day. You're maybe shadowing a day, and then day 3 you're kind of like working with someone. My previous case management job, I literally worked 2.5 days of orientation, and I was on my own, and that hospital was huge. You're not going to get a week in some cases. If you work the floor as a floor nurse, sometimes you only get in a few hours. You may get half a shift or 4 hours. If they really need you, they'll get you acclimated with the charting system, and then they're going to say, okay, here's your patients, because they are in desperate need. I guess I'll take y'all around the office. But another thing you want to look out for when you're on a travel assignment, there are going to be people that are jealous that you're making so much money, and they're going to say, oh, well, give them more of the patients. That happened to me on my first contract, but you know what? My money didn't stop, so I took care of whoever I needed to take care of. But let's go back to this list so you can see a couple of them. So definitely have 1 or 2 years experience. Yes, your orientation process is going to be a week or less, more than likely less, as in a couple of days or a couple of hours. So know what you're doing before you start traveling. So the detail of a travel case manager would be discharge planning. Some want you to do utilization management. With utilization management, it's a different department, but it's still in the case management umbrella. Some jobs you have both. Some jobs it's separate. My travel assignments that I've done, they're separate. I've only done discharge planning. That's all I want to do. Now, with discharge planning, there is number one, what you're looking for is when physical therapy and occupational therapy does their assessment on your patient, they give recommendations. Those recommendations are given, well, first you discuss it with the patient, because patients can refuse everything, anything. Then the next step would be to ask them where they would prefer to go. If it's home care, they may have a home care place that they're familiar with or that a family member had used. If it's a skilled nursing facility, or you may hear SNF, ECF, one of those, then you ask them first, where would they prefer to go? If not, we provide a list that comes from a system in Allscripts that generates a list for us to print out based on their location, the ratings that patients want to always have. If they need some more long-term care, they're LTAC. So you will get an LTAC. A lot of the ICU patients go to LTACs. They're still critically sick and they need a long-term care hospital. Remember, most of the hospitals that you work at as a travel case manager is going to be the acute setting. So if a patient needs more long-term care, then they have to go to a long-term acute center. So with those recommendations, you send the referrals over. You have to deal with insurances. You're not necessarily calling the insurances for every patient, but you are going to have to do prior authorizations if they have certain insurances, Aetna, Blue Cross, United Health. Those are the ones that usually take the longest unless there's a waiver. Any patient that has Medicare, perfect. They can go into a skilled nursing facility. You don't have to worry about any type of authorization. They can go the same day if they have a bed available at their place. When it comes to Home cares, you don't have to worry about waiting additional days for the insurance. The home cares just look and say, oh, okay, they're a network, when are they coming? The long-term care, they have to do insurance authorization. So if you have a insurance and they're not a network, they're not going to take you. They're going to let the case navigator know up front that it is an out-of-pocket cost. With the out-of-pocket cost, they may say $200 and something a day. Yes, a day. No patient wants to pay that. If you're paying $200 and something a day, they might as well be in a assisted living facility and just have a caregiver that's already affiliated with that. The facilities, they do tell you if you have to do any money up front. What the detail is about that, when they tell you the money that you have to pay up front, they want a huge down payment. So they don't want you to pay $200 a day for that 1 week and that's the deposit. No, they want a month's up front. So they want thousands of dollars for the first month. Then you can pay the $200 a day. And that's just an example. It can get expensive. When you have the right insurance, that's gold. But when you don't, it sucks because you got to make sure that your insurance covers everything. It takes time with certain insurances. The patient may be sitting in the hospital for an extra 2 days just to get insurance authorization. That's a part of discharge planning. Some travel case management jobs, you work from home. So you have everything in your house. You're relaxing in your pajamas. Those jobs are not for me. I don't mind working from home. I do work from home jobs on this channel. Those are amazing. But when it comes to travel, the stipend is what help your check as well. So if you're working from home, there's no travel stipend. There's no hotel travel stipend, no meal travel stipend, none of that. There's no extra mileage going onto your check. You just getting a flat rate. And if they want to pay you a flat rate of $40 an hour, you getting staff money. If you're going to travel, make it worth your time. Work, get that money. Do not have a staff nurse paycheck when you are a travel nurse. Know your worth. As my shirt would say, know your worth. Travel nurses. Another piece of discharge planning is DME. Now, DME is durable medical equipment. So if the patient needs a walker, a wheelchair, a Hoyer lift, a hospital bed, a cane, a shower chair, things of that sort, we will send the referral to the medical supply. If they have gotten DME equipment from another place, they can pull it up in their system and say, hey, this place has used so-and-so. No problem. We would just send an additional referral to that particular medical equipment supply store, and either the patient can go and pick it up or they can have it delivered to their home if it's not in close proximity of the hospital. Now, the benefits of being a travel case manager is there is absolutely no patient care, no bedside patient care. You can still help the patient, but you're only helping them for discharge planning. So if it comes to someone asking you, hey, can you turn me? You are only to be speaking with the patients about their discharge planning choice. It is not our role to pick a place for the patient. It is up to them. We specifically send a referral. If you're traveling out of your state, you cannot give them that information. You can say, hey, I'm a travel nurse. I'm not familiar with this area, but I can give you a list and then have that patient pick. If they have questions, always refer them to the place that they prefer. The list usually has a number for them to call. Have them to call that place. Ask those additional questions, because when they leave, they're not going to be calling you for anything. They're going to be calling that place, that agency, that facility. So it's totally leaving you out of that commitment of, oh, well, you said this and you said that. No, it's not our choice. It's their choice. It's pretty easy when you know what you're doing, but just make sure that you're not being put in a predicament where you're not comfortable, meaning your caseload may be way more than the regular staff. I haven't had that yet, but as of right now, it's a Sunday, and the place that I'm at, they call off a lot. It's rare that we have one day where there's no call-offs. So right now, one of the 4 that's here, I'm one of the 4, but one of the 4 that's here called off, and now they're trying to divvy up that person's assignment. And you can request certain things just because you're a traveler. doesn't mean you can't request. So I requested for me not to have observation patients because I do not know where ops is in this hospital. You can get lost, and I don't want to waste time getting lost. I opted to take over her floor units, but then they end up finding out that there's another, I think a social worker that's actually coming in to help. So that's perfect. But if I discuss something with management about what I don't want and they're abiding by it, because I'm the one that covers every other weekend, regular staff only does it once a month or once every 6 weeks. So if they want me to continue to work every other weekend, what I ask for, they're willing to do it. You know, what I'm asking for, they're willing to do it. So when regular staff asks, oh, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Nope. What I originally asked for was for X, Y, and Z, and that is why I only work X, Y, and Z. I have more units than you guys, but I'm not going to have someone else's work with that needy observation unit. No, absolutely not. I put my foot down. I don't know if they are saying that I'm mean or that I'm, not really a team player. Who cares? I'm on this assignment for 5 more weeks. I'm still doing every other weekend. So more than likely the people that I work with, I won't work with them on my next weekend or the weekend after that because I only have about 2 more weekends to go. Here's what it is. My money don't stop, but put your foot down when it comes to certain things. Because if you already talked to your manager about what you want and they're in agreement, do not let any other person tell you you have to do more. Thank you guys for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting on? Hit that like button. Y'all have a blessed one. Bye.